Okay, going live, and it says that you are live. Awesome. What is going on, everybody? Merry Christmas Eve, and welcome to my final live reaction for the One Piece manga for 2023. Today, we are sitting down and watching One Piece manga chapter 1102. Welcome. I'm going to let everybody get in here first. I think the stream actually hasn't officially started yet. All right, no, here we are. All right, the stream is now officially live. Hello, everyone. Merry Christmas Eve. Merry Christmas Eve. All right. I am very, very excited to read this chapter. I've heard from a lot of people. I've seen online also today people saying this is a tearjerker, that they absolutely loved this one. So I'm excited to get started. Everyone's going Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. Hello, hello. All right. Merry Christmas Eve once again to all of you. Let's get started reading One Piece manga chapter 1102. This one is titled Kuma's Life. So considering the fact that everyone's saying this is a tearjerker chapter, I am relatively concerned for Kuma right now. So, all right, it says, reader request, Bonnie eating hot dog after hot dog being painstakingly prepared by ravenous wolves. And this was a suggestion by Toshika Zoo. So is that an actual zoo in Japan? A zoo requested that they have Bonnie eating with a bunch of wolves? What is this? All right, here we go. Let's go. This is it, Bonnie. Kuma's gotta be on this island. Now, don't call me that. Call me Captain. Fine, Captain, but watch out. The Navy's also on this. Now listen up, Swabbies. Let's disembark. We are the dreaded Bonnie Pirates. There's a fleet-wide order for their arrest, and they've been leaving a trail of injured seniors and children in their wake. Only scum would do such a thing, so they're taking them all out. I also just realized I should probably get my glasses for this one, so hold on. Let me open this thing up. Let me also make sure everything's looking good on my end. See, it's weird. I'm not used to doing mobile lives like this, and yet here we are. Also, I think the backdrop is lovely. We've got the Christmas tree. We've got the little train set back there and everything. All right, let's continue. A huge man. He was just on the outskirts of town. I'm sorry, Bonnie. I can't meet with you. So Bonnie's searching for her dad, but alas, the time is not right. Why did she have to become a pirate? Please, don't try to track me down. And he pops himself away. Now, why wasn't he here? Look, we're all pirates now, so let's take our time searching, Captain. But in that case, I want to look for Nika, too. That way, when we find Daddy, he'll be so excited when I tell him that we saw Nika back at that island. She's speaking like she's one of Oda's speeches during Jump Festa, saying that island instead. All right. Meanwhile, in the East Blue, after defeating Arlong and his crew of fishermen pirates, so this is post-season 1 of One Piece live action, we're wanted dead or alive. Monkey D. Luffy, Straw Hat Luffy, and this is where he got his first bounty. The name Straw Hat Luffy becomes known to the public at large. Okay. Logtown, why go there? Well, who oversees that area? Captain Smoker. Okay. So obviously Dragon wants to go help Luffy. You got Ace and Jinbei. Jinbei, do you know whose little brother this is? He defeated Arlong's crew, this boy? The answer is mine. He's my brother. Okay. What a strange twist of fate, Dragon. Both of our children are now pirates. These are the ironclad laws of piratey behavior. So they're jumping all over the place. Basically, we're seeing Dragon's perspective, Ace's perspective, Kuma's perspective. Now we're getting back to Bonnie again. These are the ironclad laws of piratey behavior. Steal whatever you want from the bad guys. Steal! Don't help other people unless they need it. Don't help! Sure, why not? I'm pretty sure that's how you apply lipstick. Yeah, see? I'm all grown up. So this is where she gets her little trademark, her trademark lips and her trademark little ring. This is here on my cheeks so Dad can recognize that it's me. All that's left is to get famous. Then he'll definitely know. Okay. Egghead New World. I find this eerie, though I'm not surprised. They're proceeding well, just like your augmentation. But anyway, did you hear that story the other day about the boy who declared war on the world government? He's Dragon's son? Got Vegapunk freaking out over this? Okay. Well, I might as well tell you now, since you'll see it in my memories eventually. Through some trick of fate, it's a man who challenges the government with the power of rubber. Almost like Nika, the figure I admire so much. Pip-pip-pay, indeed. So Vegapunk knew about this back then, too. Thriller Bark Grand Line. Oh, okay. Are we seeing every moment that Kuma saw the Straw Hats? Thriller Bart Grand Line. Orders are orders. I am tasked with killing your entire crew, but I will spare all of you in exchange for the head of Straw Hat Luffy. The government will be satisfied with that. And you got the rest of the Straw Hats, of course, going never. Luffy, and then jumping back to the nothing happened moment. Very, very nice. Luffy is the man who will become the king of the pirates. If you are truly taking his place, then you must accept his agony. Even I might pass out from this one. Just taking all the pain in from Luffy and then giving it back to Zoro. Man, oh man. You have exceptional friends. And he's your son after all, Dragon. It's just, I feel like this has got to be the end of the flashback. I feel like this has to be. The way they're flying through stuff and now getting to stuff that we've actually seen in the story, it feels like it's got to be that. Especially if the title, if the chapter, the title, what am I on this morning? Especially if the chapter title is Kuma's life. Excuse me. All right, having a stroke. All right, near the Saburi Archipelago. It's a mandatory summons of the 7 warlords. Refusing will cost you your title, and there's no need to be dramatic. Wait, what? And there is to be a public execution of a bannerman of the new era, Ace. And this means one thing is certain. There will be war with the Whitebeard pirates. So he heard all of this before he went under then. A war with Whitebeard. I will be there the day of the execution. But you know by that point he's going to be gone, because that was the whole thing with Ivankov, where Ivankov was saying to Kuma, what, you don't even recognize me after everything that we saw? All right, here we go. Saburi Archipelago. Let's continue. Aren't my seconds here yet? I'm going to run out of food. More pizza. And of course, this is the first time that we saw Bonnie. Captain, if you make too much noise, the Navy will come. I guess this is farewell. Just look at what a rugged pirate you've become, Bonnie. And you got Kuma smiling before he sends the Straw Hats off, seeing Bonnie for potentially the last time. The pirates attacked the Celestial Dragons. A battleship is coming from Navy headquarters. The human shop. But who is it? What did they do to the Celestial Dragons? It is a taboo of the highest order. We're close to Navy HQ, and it's suicide to attack one here. Them again. The Straw Hat crew. And this is obviously after Luffy punched him. You got the reactions once again of all the Straw Hats. Was he protecting a fisherman? Oh, look, Straw Hat. That's an act of high treason, the likes of which none have accomplished in many centuries. So Kuma seeing this once again, solidifying for him, this is Nika. This is the man I've been waiting for. Ooh. Nice panel there. Dragon, Eva, please forgive me. Wait, PX1, another one. And Zoro, and then this is when he's slapping everybody, poofing them away for 3D2Y. I will leave behind the mark of my existence in Bonnie and the future of this boy. Meanwhile, you got Luffy down to the ground crying, saying I couldn't save any of them. And Kuma's like, that's not true. This is just the level of the new world. It is still too soon for the likes of your crew. So don't come here yet. But one day in the future, you will be the man who saves the world. Yo, and you get the last little poof, right, which is awesome. Considering the first time we saw this, and they were describing it as the decimation of the Straw Hat crew, absolutely unbelievable. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Oh, man, you will be the man who saves the world. Great. A self-destruct switch? How afraid of Kuma are you anyway? Well, you are the one who turned him into a terrifying human weapon. You're at the very top of the authority hierarchy, though. If he goes out of control beyond the range of receiving commands, who will stop him? And how? So don't argue with me, Vegapunk. You're just a lowly hired scientist. Well, then in exchange for doing that, let me retain a little willpower for him. I've invented a neural pathway that can switch between mental states like dual personalities. If you'll just let me test it. I'm seeing things. They're talking about self-destruct switches, neural pathway switches, different personalities. I can kind of see where this is going. If you'll just let me test it on, I gave you an order, Vegapunk. You will not leave him any free will. I, too, am a scientist. You cannot deceive me. So this is Saturn once again talking to Vegapunk. But what about Kuma and Bonnie? They're never going to meet again. Well, I'm just happy that you thought of me, Vegapunk. Oh, man, so he overheard all of that? You shouldn't have heard that. Who was it that gave me supersonic hearing? Here we are, Kuma. This is it. This is the day I flipped the switch. It's been 2 long years, but I enjoyed them with you. And he's like, me too. Your first mission seems like it's going to involve fighting against the Whitebeard pirates. They've ordered a mass deployment of clone soldiers. After that's done, I'd like you to program a mission into me. And this is going to be guarding over the Straw Hat ship, of course. You want to stand guard over the Straw Hat ship? I would like to protect their home until one of the crew returns to it. And even though I won't be around to witness their growth. What pipe dreams do you see in this boy? It's something in his actions that shakes the very core of my being. Let's go. Nika is only legend, but I instilled into Bonnie the stories of a warrior who rides the rhythm of liberation and brings smiles to all. If there is a hero who will bring about a great transformation to the sea, I think it must be him. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Wow. A revolutionary making a bet on a pirate. Quite the dark horse you've chosen. Bit, you got him going off. But that contradiction is proof of your humanity, Kuma. Now, time to provide me with my material for scientific research. We had a deal. Once you omit that, do the memories in your mind vanish? No, it's more like a copy, but it will vanish once touched. So it's gone now. So we're experiencing Bonnie touching it and the memories being lost. Oh, man. Not to worry. I've built a system that will allow me to see inside without contact. Now place it over here. This will be quick. It's a clean, clinical process. And I'm a scientist after all. Oh, man. I don't know why. That line from Kuma is hitting me. He's like, so, and he sees the giant memory bubble, and he's like, so that's my life. How much of an, oh my God, dude. Oh. He's dropping this on Christmas? So that's my life. How much of a nuisance was I in the end? What is life but being a series of nuisances? Oh my gosh, man. Oh, when this is animated, tears are going to be shed, man. He's literally watching his life flash before his eyes, growing up and seeing everybody, his parents, Ivankov, and he's just struggling through it. He's huffing and puffing as he's running. Oh my gosh. And Ginny, Dragon, and Bonnie's associates. Ginny grown up, baby Bonnie. Bonnie calling him daddy. The revelation that she's going to survive. Vegapunk talking to him. She'll survive. I'm so glad. I'm so glad. Thank you. Oh, Vegapunk. Oh, man. Turning the page. Your death is a nuisance to every person who's ever known and love you. Your death is the nuisance, not your life. Oh my gosh. Oh. Vegapunk. Listen to me, Kuma, and listen good. You are a hero to Bonnie and to us all. And dude, he's lying there smiling. Oh my gosh. Thank you. And say, Vegapunk? Yeah, I already know. Thank you. And you've got, oh man. Sentomaro and everyone else at Egghead Island, they got the, oh man, it's like he's ascending to heaven at this point. What? How can he do this? Oh man, and you got Vegapunk in silhouette pulling the thing on the ground. Oh my gosh. Thank you for saving Bonnie. And you could see him. Oh. If you should see Bonnie, would you pass on a message from me? And slowly we're fading back to present day. And the memories are, oh my gosh. If you should see Bonnie, would you pass on a message from me? Tell her I wish her a happy 10th birthday. To be continued. Final chapter of the year. One Piece 1102. End. And it just ends with Bonnie absolutely sobbing. Oh, man. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. That final sequence, right towards the end of the chapter, where he's going into the machine, and then you've got him literally seeing him grow up. You're watching Kuma live out his life one final time, relive his memories for one last time. Dude. And that line from Vegapunk, too, where Kuma's like, how much of a nuisance was I in the end? That's my life. What is life but being a series of nuisances? And then Vegapunk responding with, your death is the nuisance. To every person who's ever known and loved you. You're a hero. Bro, this flashback is peak. This is without a doubt one of the best flashbacks in the history of the series. Without a doubt. I felt, and I said this during my live reaction last week, I felt like it was just starting to drag. I feel like 1101 was just at the point where I was like, it's not giving me enough. You're getting to the thing at Windmill Village. You're sort of like padding things out a little bit. I'm not really feeling this much. And now it's like, boom. Oda's like, you wanted it to end, Roger? I'll make it end. Boom. Let's end it in a glorious fashion. Seeing Kuma and his perspective of everything that we saw pre-time skip with Kuma, with the stuff with Thriller Bark, the stuff with Sabaody Archipelago, jumping to him literally in the machine, Vegapunk turning it down like, oh my gosh, losing his humanity, knowing he's never going to see Bonnie again, but knowing that Luffy's out there and knowing he's the one that's going to bring about the change. That running sequence is impeccable. It's impeccable. The one that's on page 15 of him as a child growing up and seeing the memories and then continuously running is quite possibly one of the best scenes in any flashback Oda has ever done. I could say that with confidence. It is so well done. And it's clear that the way that Oda is writing this, he's writing it as a storyboard. Because he knows one day this is going to get animated. Probably multiple times, because we got the One Piece and we've got the One Piece anime now. He knows they're eventually going to animate this. And I know if they animate the running of him growing up, and then you've got all of these memories of people flashing in the background, I'm going to be a sobbing mess. It works obviously on the manga page too, but I know seeing this moving is going to break me. That was absolutely beautiful. And I think what a great way to end the flashback too, where it's like literally, it was Kuma's life, right? We went through his entire life from birth to death. But I think if there's one upside to what might eventually happen with Kuma, I think it's this little bit towards the ending. This is on page 10, when they're talking about the self-destruct switch and turning him into a terrifying weapon. And then bringing up this extra thing too, where Vegapunk says, I invented a neural pathway that switches between mental states like dual personalities. I feel like we've already kind of seen this. Because we saw this a little bit with him climbing up the red line and the revolutionary saving him. So to me, it feels like this is how Kuma's going to go out. I feel like I think this whole self-destruct switch thing that Saturn specifically put in place as a backup because he didn't want Kuma to not listen to him. I feel like the self-destruct switch is what's going to kill Saturn or badly damage him and allow them to leave Egghead Island. I think Kuma knows this. It's seen in Kuma's memories that he's aware of this. I think that's what it's going to be. I think for a long time we were all speculating, and we mentioned on other different live streams and other different theory discussions that it was probably going to be him like taking the pain out of Luffy and then putting it into Saturn. But now I really don't think that's the case. I think he literally left us in this chapter with how he's going to take out Saturn. He's probably going to arrive on Egghead. He's going to see Bonnie. He's going to see Luffy. He's going to have his consciousness because Vegapunk was able to get the switch working. Vegapunk disobeyed Saturn. Because Saturn's whole thing was like, look, I'm a scientist too. If you do this, I'll know. Of course he'll know. Because he's going to blow up. Like, he'll try blowing him up and then, oh, man. Oh, dude. This is setting up for a perfect finale for Egghead Island. It really is. For a perfect finale to Kuma's story, him dying as a martyr, exploding, blowing up Saturn, I think it also ends as like a perfect capper for Kuma's storyline, which obviously we just saw the full thing of within this story arc. But like everything that we've seen with Kuma up to this point in the story to now, incredible. Incredible. This chapter is absolutely beautiful. I could not have asked for a better chapter, man. Man, oh man, oh man. I got lots of people in the chapter saying 10 out of 10 chapter this week. Roger, this chapter left me in tears. I was a weeping mess. Man, Grand Line Review ended up crying reading this. Top 1 for me. Oda can't get away with this. This was peak. This was peak. He's also kind of running like the Nika dance a little bit. Man, oh man, oh man, oh man. Wow. See, the tough thing is I'm not able to see all the different comments or all the super chats or everything on my computer because I have it set up on my my camera right now on my phone. So I'm not able to see everything. Artur saying I couldn't stop crying either. Man, oh man. I'm going to be real with you. I'm not like sobbing. I think when I see it in motion, I think it'll get me. I think for now, because we've been through this for so long, it's not hitting me quite the same way. Like I'm not really a sobbing mess, but it's definitely still beautiful. You know, it's absolutely a beautiful chapter. Yeah, no doubt about it. And I obviously, if anybody, you know, if you read this in a binge, I think you're going to sob. I think it's just because you're reading it week to week. It didn't hit me quite the same way. But man, really, really great chapter. Really, really beautiful stuff here. Wow. Just, I'm looking at this final sequence again of him growing up on page 15. And those final lines about what is it to be a nuisance. And like being a nuisance in life, being a nuisance in death. And then Kuma, right before he goes under, not only thinking about his daughter, but then basically being like, Luffy is the guy I was waiting for. I think it's got to be him. And then having it be the son of one of his closest allies, like, so good. You got to make sure to react to the episode when it comes out. Oh, most definitely. Most definitely. I'm also curious. I want to see what James ended up doing for the thumbnail this week. Let me go into my drive. Oh, of course. Oh, this is beautiful. Here, take a look. Wow, James, this is really good. Wow. I don't know if you guys could see this. Wow, 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 wow. Did a full spread of Bonnie, Kuma, Luffy, and Vegapunk crying. Very, very nice. Wow, I want to see his notes. Oh, dude. James writes, happy birthday, Bonnie. I know you wanted a Christmas thumbnail, but it felt wrong with this chapter. This was a very good chapter. But I also did an alternate in the folder Merry Christmas. Happy holidays, everyone. James, what was your alternate version of the thumbnail? Oh my. James, this is the one I'm using. You think I'm not going to use this one? Come on. Are you kidding me? This is incredible. That is so good. James, I'm using this. Without a shadow of a doubt. You might have made a normal version. This is the one I'm going with. No doubt about it. You think Oda releases a chapter on Christmas Eve and I'm not going to use this one? You're out of your mind, man. This is absolutely great. Oh, I love this. Well done. Well done, man. Wow, 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 wow. Great chapter. Absolutely great chapter. You got a lot of people also saying just got here. Great job with the thumbnail, James. Absolutely beautiful. Yeah, you got to release both versions on your Twitter so people can go follow it. Man. What's Bonnie doing crying? What do you mean what's Bonnie doing crying? If anyone is going to cry at this chapter, it's Bonnie. Experiencing all the memory. Imagine being Bonnie, right? Touching the little memory paw thing and then experiencing all of this in a binge. That's got to be heartbreaking. Not like, oh man. Having searched for your father all this time, not knowing what was going on, getting all of this, the full story, and then also finding out about your mother, because obviously she was too young to remember any of this stuff with Ginny. Finding out all this about her mother, about her grandparents, how they died. Oh, man. I do wonder, though, what Bonnie's role in the story moving forward will be now, because obviously she's going to be an ally to the Straw Hats forever now. I mean, it's not even a question. There's no way in which she goes and does her own thing now. If she sees with her own eyes, after everything, in her father's memories, that Luffy is the man he's pinning his hopes and dreams on, she's staying with Luffy. Now, I don't know if that's going to mean she's staying with us until the finale. I don't know if that means she joins the crew. I don't know if that means she comes with us to Elbaf when we go to Elbaf, because we know we're going to Elbaf because of Oda. I'm honestly not sure. I'm not sure. You guys are saying you think she might actually go to the Revolutionaries. See, I think that would actually be cool. For her to take the spot of Ginny would be so good. Bonnie for Straw Hat? Oh, man. I also think she might become a revolutionary. I honestly think that's the right way to go about it. I think if he's going to implement her in any story whatsoever, I do feel like tying her in with the Revolutionaries while also being an ally to Luffy might be the best way about it. Also considering, in fact, her dad was in the Revolutionary Army. Oh, man. What a good chapter. What an absolutely beautiful, beautiful chapter. Again, that scene about, like, what does it mean to be a nuisance? That hit, man. That absolutely hit. I want to double check this real quick. I want to see something in my studio because I see a bunch of people donating, but I want to say thank you, but I can't see the donations on my phone, and it's going to really bother me if I'm not able to see them. Hold on. I want to give a thank you to people. Uh-oh. Oh, here we go. Okay, wait. So David Ortiz super chatted and said, Saturn has a personal hatred towards Kuma. I believe he took Ginny out of spite towards Kuma and could actually be Bonnie's father. No, I think if anything, maybe Saturn's kid is Bonnie's father. And I think we even talked about that at one point on one of the older live streams. We were discussing that possibility. Sixlet donated and said, I can't stick around for the stream, but I am looking forward to the VOD while I finish wrapping presents later. Happy holidays, Roger. Thank you very much. Monkey Thief super chatted and said that running scene will be remembered along with scenes like Roger laughed and nothing happened, amongst other iconic moments. I completely agree. Again, I feel like for it to fully hit for me, though, I will need to see it animated. I think it was beautiful seeing it on the page, but I think for me, it's going to feel different animated. Wow. And then Natsu also donated $20. Dude, thank you so much. Saying Merry Christmas to all and have a wonderful chapter read. Thank you very, very much, man. Wow. J7 also in the chat is saying that the upcoming year is the year of the dragon in the Zodiac. So I definitely think we're going to get something for dragon next year. Oh, no doubt about it. Considering everything, I wouldn't be surprised, honestly, if dragon ends up showing up at the end of Egghead at this point. Considering how much that, dragon is involved with the story of Kuma, and then knowing this about Luffy, and then if Bonnie is going to join the Revolutionaries, I could see dragon showing up. David also says, don't forget the Blackbeard Pirates are there. True. Not only are the Blackbeard Pirates there in some capacity, but we also know the Revolutionaries want nothing more but to help Kuma. That was the whole reason they were there at the Reverie in the first place, were to free Kuma. And if Vegapunk actually did manage to do whatever this split personality thing is, where he invents the neural pathway that switches between mental states, I could absolutely see a situation in which Dragon, Sabo, Ivankov, they all show up. The Blackbeard Pirates are there. Kuma, and everyone witnesses Kuma taking out Saturn. which would be just an amazing way to go out. To take out Saturn using his own self-destruct switch would be, after seeing that Luffy is real, that Nika is there, and after seeing his daughter all grown up and knowing she's going to be okay, it'll be peak. It'll be peak. Again, I think all the pieces are there for quite possibly one of the best finales of any One Piece arc ever. And I could also safely say, after the end of this Kuma arc, this little Kuma mini flashback arc, I also feel like Egghead is now vying for the best arc post-time skip. Because I've been, you guys know this, if you've been watching me for a long time, you know I'm a huge fan of Zoe. I love Zoe. I think Zoe is a spectacular arc. I feel like this is better. I feel like this one's better. I think Raizo is Safe was a great moment, and I have a lot of nostalgia for Zoe because I started doing my YouTube channel right before then. That was the only story arc that well, it wasn't the only one, obviously, but it was the first story arc I ever completed week to week on YouTube from beginning to end. So I have a lot of nostalgia for Zoe, and I also think Zoe is just like a genuinely good story arc. But I feel like Egghead is topping it now. And I also could see a situation in which, depending on how the finale plays out, it ends up being like a top 5 arc of the entire series. Like, really. It is that good. Because there have been very little downtimes week to week in Egghead. Very few. There have been a couple, even the chapters that were bad, quote unquote, weren't bad. I feel like there were a couple chapters where it was like, okay, I read this. This was fine. I don't really have anything else to talk about. But I feel like there weren't really any straight up bad chapters. I think there were chapters sort of like 1101 where I was like, this could have been better. I wish things would have been different. But I certainly didn't think that was a bad chapter. And I honestly don't think any chapter in Egghead has been bad. Like, straight up, I don't think there's been one. Maybe one of the early ones with the punks. But again, when you're thinking about it in terms of a binge, how most people will be reading this will be in a binge in the volumes. And I feel like, especially if you continue the stuff with Shanks, the stuff with Buggy making the proclamation he's going after the One Piece, the stuff with Blackbeard and Kobe and Garp and Kuzan, if you include all of that with Egghead Island, I mean, it's peak. It's absolutely peak. I cannot wait to see this animated. Like I said, I can't wait to see most of Egghead animated. I watched that little teaser that they released. I'm not going to upload a reaction or anything because I watched it when I was here home for Christmas. But I watched that little teaser that they released for what the Egghead anime is going to look like. And I think it looks absolutely beautiful. I like that art style. But now, after that announcement about the One Piece, you know how they're remaking One Piece and they're starting it at the East Blue. Now I'm also really not sure what to be excited for. You know what I mean? Like, if they're going to make a definitive version of the anime, and then there's also a week-to-week anime, there's just too much. There's too much. I like being a manga reader, and then watching the anime occasionally, and then I'll probably end up watching the full remake as well, because I'm sure the animation's going to be stunning if it's done by Studio Wit or whatever. But there are so many moments that I could think of in Egghead specifically, where I feel like, honestly, it's going to be so good. Even in the OG anime, I think it's going to be good. And this chapter in particular, once it gets adapted, I think is going to be a 10 out of 10. Man, oh man, oh man. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Yeah, beautiful chapter once again. Absolutely beautiful. Couldn't have asked for a better one for Christmas. Thank you all for tuning in and joining me. I know it's Christmas Eve. I know a lot of you guys are probably out partying and doing stuff and hanging out with your family. My parents are literally grocery shopping right now, so I thought this is the perfect opportunity to sit down and basically read a chapter for 30 minutes. You can see my beautiful tree in the background. We got our little train down there and everything too. I couldn't have asked for a better background. And this is actually the first time we've put up this tree in years. This tree is about 10 feet tall. Here, I'll move this back a little bit so you guys can see it. Check this out. Look at this. This tree is huge. I'm 6'1". I'm 6'1", and this is my tree. It's massive. In order to get the ornaments that were on the very top, I had to put a little stepladder up to climb up there, dude. Unbelievable. But I think it turned out beautiful. You can see all the different little ornaments up there. Got a little lemon from when we were in Italy earlier. Got a little Japanese ornament over there as well. Great. Those little icicles really do make it, too. Absolutely beautiful. Yeah, but that tree is massive. Hetty said, I thought it was a green screen. No, it's not a green screen. What do you mean? I'm home for Christmas. Of course it's not a green screen. Here, I'll prove it. See, I'll take a little ornament off. I gotta be careful though. I don't want to mess it up. I'll take a little ornament off. I'm gonna put the little ornament back on. There you go. We have it just right though, so I don't really want to mess it up. Oh man. All right. Well, I'm going to get back to the festivities. Thank you all once again for joining me. Greatly appreciated. Again, this was a fantastic chapter to end the year with. I'm going to be thinking about that scene. The was I a nuisance in life? No, your death is the real nuisance. Like, oh my gosh, man. That is so good. Your death is a nuisance to everyone who ever loved you. You're a hero, Kuma. He is a hero. Kuma is indeed a hero, man. Oh, dude, 2024 is going to be so good in terms of the One Piece manga. I could just feel it already. I know it's going to be great. All right. Happy holidays once again, everybody. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year as well, in case I don't see you. I think I will have a couple videos going up before the end of the year. But again, hope you all have a lovely holiday season. Spend some time with your family. Don't just sit and watch One Piece all day, all right? Go do something with your life. Go hang out with them, even though One Piece is great. but go hang out. Have a great day. And I will see you all in 2024. All right. Goodbye, everybody. Thank you once again. Merry Christmas Eve. Happy holidays. You got Hetty saying, take care, King. I absolutely will. We're going to go eat some seafood right now. All right. Good night, everybody.